Welcome back, everybody, to the Meeple Marathon. Today I'm going to be doing a new style of video, at least for this channel. I'm going to be kind of doing a Kickstarter preview video in a way. And what I want to be talking about today is Kingdom Rush Rift in Time, specifically their upcoming standalone expansion. So kind of a round 2 Kickstarter for Kingdom Rush, which seems rather quick, but the original Kingdom Rush was, if we look here on their page, this is their Kickstarter page, you can see it was funded May 2nd, 2019. So it took them a while to produce the first round. I think COVID-19 obviously had something to do with that, but a lot of us just recently received our Kickstarter pledge. And I also just recently covered it a lot on the channel. I did several playthroughs, but I also gave it one of my full and honest reviews. And there were several things that I discussed in my review that I felt like, I was unhappy about, things that I felt like could be updated. And so I wanted to highlight, A, an update they just sent us, and B, kind of what I have found out about their newest Kickstarter expansion, because it does appear that they are addressing some of these issues. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at what they have come up with as a solution to the King's Pledge. This is the most recent update from Lucky Duck Games on the original game. Now, for those of you who watched my review, you may have noticed that I was very unhappy with the quality of the trays that were part of the King's Pledge, because it was this, all-inclusive storage solution that was, meant to be this groundbreaking thing, and it didn't cut it. The lid did not stay on firmly. The polyominoes did not all fit into the trays. I actually had to store some off into a separate portion of the box. And, it was very difficult to find, like the little individual polyominoes when you were, in the middle of battle. So it just was kind of a disappointment for something that was a really big push for them from their Kickstarter page. So what they've done is they have gone to the Game Trays team here. You can see the Game Trays is now involved in the process. This is probably what they should have done to begin with, but I trust everything that comes out of Game Trays. Anytime that a product of mine comes with Game Trays included, it's spot on, near perfect. So what you can see here is that they have somewhat revamped the tower tray. Now, it appears to be mostly similar as far as the tower trays are concerned, but instead of putting the polyominoes up here at the top, they have given you a spot for your building sites, your spells, and some of your tokens. And what they assure you here is that the lid actually clips and holds firmly closed. That is probably the biggest thing. I want to make sure that if this box does get tipped on its side, the lid's not going to pop off. And obviously, where the polyomino is going to go, well, you can see they've created their own separate tray for the polyominoes in each different shape, each unique shape within the, magic damage and the melee damage and the archer damage, range damage, all gets its own unique spot. So everything should fit in there. Even the soldier meeples should also have a spot. And again, hopefully, and I trust that they will, they've designed this so that the lid fits on firmly. And even if you tip this on the side, the shapes aren't going to get all mixed up. We'll have to test that out when we get it, but this is definitely a step in the right direction. Also, what Game Trays has done is improved the hero trays. Now, the hero trays were fine, in my opinion, but the lid didn't stay on tight. So I think the biggest thing they've done here is made the lid stay on tight. And also, one of my gripes that I covered in my review is that when you are, or I may have covered this in my storage video actually, is when you are going to lay out the hero trays on the top of the box, you had to stack some too high. They didn't all fit flush on one level, so some were sliding around on top. The way they had to be stacked in the box just kind of felt like they were thrown in there. that does not appear that it's going to be an issue if you go with the Emperor chest. Now, the Emperor chest is Game Trays' all-in-one solution for what appears to be Wave 1. So this is going to be the base game, the Spider Goddess expansion, along with the 2 standalone expansions that you could get, JT and Van Zan, into this one massive box. This box easily is going to have to be as big as Gloomhaven, if not bigger. But again, I trust that Game Trays has got it figured all out, that everything's going to fit in there, everything's going to be protected, and it'll be easy to pull out and play. So that's really my thing, is that it store well, but also is going to make it easy to get this game out and get it to the table. So very excited about this. Again, this is something that should have happened the first time around. But for whatever reason, Lucky Duck ran out of time. They took the shortcut, but they recognized their mistake. So I appreciate that they recognize their mistakes and they are making up for it. Their solution for this now is that they're giving everybody a $15 credit if you purchase the King's Pledge towards purchasing this Emperor box or any of these storage solutions ad hoc in the next Kickstarter. So I guess you could probably purchase just these trays, and I think just the trays are going to be $15. And then if you want to upgrade the Emperor chest, which is going to include all the trays, it's going to be like $30. So half of your stuff's already covered. It's okay. I would have liked for them to have just said, you know what, this is what it should have been the first time, but maybe this definitely would have been more expensive if they had done it the first time. So we'll have to see how people feel when this all hits next week, how people feel about getting that $15 credit. They've also said that they're going to include 2-wave shipping so that you can get your Emperor box and your storage solution for Wave 1 sooner than Wave 2 comes out. So again, they're at least taking steps in the correct direction here. There's one other thing that they added here. They call it an overdue surprise. It really is just a soundboard. I don't even know if I'm going to bother with this, but I guess I will try and get it out in one of my upcoming playthroughs just so you guys can experience it. It just seems like one more thing I have to figure out how to fit onto the table, and this game's already a table hog. But they did create it, so kudos to them. Again, it's just a soundboard. You'll need to go to a website on your phone or iPad or something, computer nearby, and you just click on the thing, and it'll call out, "For the king, reinforce might and magic," which, for those of you who are familiar with the game, could be kind of fun and immersive. So that is the update to the King's Pledge. This is something I harped on during my review, that I could not even see myself not having any type of storage solution like this, that it was entirely necessary. Hopefully they will sell this kind of stuff secondhand, or Game Trays will make it available on their website for anybody who purchases this in retail, because I feel like this kind of stuff is necessary. Now, let's take a look at what is coming up a week from today. If we go here to Gamefound now, this is not going to be on Kickstarter. It is going to be on Gamefound, and this is Awaken Realms' kind of Kickstarter competition. In a way, they did ISS Vanguard. They've done a couple other small games on Gamefound, but this is their first big game from a major publisher like Lucky Duck. So it'll be interesting to see how well this Elemental Rising does versus the standalone on Kickstarter. But they do have a little preview video, which I'm going to play for you real quick. Okay, so that just kind of gives you a little preview. 7 days to go. You can leave a comment if you'd like. But there are a few things that I want to cover about things that they show on the page, but also things that I have heard and seen around the board game industry. So here you can see, obviously, they have like a mega boss. Appears to be even bigger than, the bosses in the base game. And 5 new heroes. Obviously, they'll unlock some more, I'm sure, as part of stretch goal upgrades. So what are we getting with this game? First of all, it's standalone. So I think that that's a big thing to consider. If anybody was on the fence about Kingdom Rush and maybe saw reviews like mine and continue to be on the fence, hopefully Lucky Duck is in the process of fixing a lot of their, not mistakes, but things they could have done better from the base game. And this game will actually be an even better version. And since it's standalone, there's no reason why this can't be your entry into the series. So you've got some new heroes here. Most of these guys are from Kingdom Rush Frontiers, which was, the sequel to the original Kingdom Rush app on iOS. Deirdre is actually from the first one, which seems kind of weird that they would have thrown her in amongst all these other Frontiers heroes. But she's the only one, or no, it's Allura. I'm sorry. Allura is from the first one. Deirdre is from Frontiers. Allura is from the original game. But there's the heroes, and they're adding these environmental elements. So you have these magic blossoms. I'm assuming there's going to be more, but these are going to do something. I've seen that they have a wilted side. You can run your hero across them and it triggers something. This says special attacks when your hero steps onto them. What appears to happen is that these are going to be kind of placed around based on your scenario setup, like in the far corners or sometimes close by. You're just going to set up a specific number and you'll be able to plan out your running across them. They've got some new horde elements like magma elements with the, you can see tough ability here. Which means, what does tough means? That only one square of a monster can be covered with each attack. So you can't just like squat your hero on all four. You're going to have to ding him here, ding him here, ding him here, and ding him there. So that's interesting. Then there's these shields. So basically what this is doing is not necessarily saying you can't use magic on this card. You just can't use magic coming from this direction. So if you're over here, you'll be fine because you'll be approaching where there's no magic shield. Or from the right to the left, you can approach it, but from the top or the bottom, you won't be able to use magic. And so that's everything that they have covered on the page. But a few things that I have seen that they're not talking about that I do appreciate. One is that they have added to the, I guess, reward system for defeating a horde tray is that you can gain coins along with gems. Now, coins, I thought, is what they should have just done from the begin with. And the coins you can use to increase upgrades or add upgrades to a card. Not upgrade a tower, but add an upgrade. And from what I've heard, they're going to be stickers. Reusable stickers. I'm not really sure how well that's going to work because you're going to be taking them on and off between every gameplay. This is not like play through an entire campaign, leave them on there, and then carefully take them off. So really not sure how well these stickers are going to hold up. Again, I haven't seen any final products of the stickers. I've just seen prototypes, and they're mostly just laminated cutouts. But these upgrades you can place on any tower. You can spend your coins on these upgrades. And I'm not really sure, what the point is of upgrading a level 1 tower, because eventually you're going to want to upgrade that tower to a level 1, and supposedly that sticker stays on that tower for the rest of the game. Meaning, if you turn around and buy a level 1 tower, if you buy that one, it'll be already upgraded. But to me, I want the coins to be available for if I have a level 4 tower since normally in the base game, once you had a level 4 tower, you weren't trading it in. You were going to use it every time. But it would be nice to have been able to spend a coin or a gem to add a little extra to it, which is kind of how it feels in the app. Here, I feel like they've added it, but again, they've separated out the gems and the coins, making you, spend the coins on these little upgrade stickers and not on the towers. And they're still, it appears, having the whole pass the towers back and forth to upgrade them. So not sure how keen I am, again, on that rule. Anyways, the other thing that I've seen is some really nice kind of passive abilities or asymmetrical abilities that seem to be a little bit more beefed up, I guess you could say, on the hero boards, making the heroes even more asymmetrical than before and a little bit more powerful. So I think that is a really nice step in the right direction. There's also supposedly, more of a storyline in effect, and scenarios are going to help teach you things along the way with these additional cards that are come out within the hordes. So again, it feels like they're taking a step in the right direction. We'll see how far they go with it. So since this is a game I covered heavily on the channel and was one of the first games I gave a big full and honest review of, I'm going to continue covering it here as we go through the second Kickstarter. So keep an eye out for, again, Kingdom Rush Elemental Rising. Is that what it was called? Yes, Elemental Rising by Lucky Duck Games, a week from today, launching on February 9th. I will probably post another video within a few days of its launch so we can take a look at what all the full page is showing off. And I'll also be doing some playthroughs of the base game to show off the Spider Goddess expansion, which I never got around to showing off the first time around. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving a thumbs up. And if you'd like to follow along with our coverage of Kingdom Rush, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell icon so you can be notified when all of our new content drops on YouTube. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.